Salutations.
Sup, my doggies?
We're back with part 2 of the food identification debate. In this episode, we'll be talking about 2 more ways to classify food, and one of these is my personal favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Are you ready for the soup, salad, sandwich space?
I already hate it. I can tell by the name.
You rank each of their properties in terms of how much they're like a salad, how much they're like a soup, and how much they're like a sandwich.
Okay, I guess.
And then you put that on this graph. So you have your top up here, which is just pure like sandwich. And then you have other things like ravioli. Just a plain ravioli is more like a sandwich. So it's quite close up there.
I see it.
But it's not like a salad or a soup. Versus a ravioli in sauce is a sandwich, but it's in a sauce, so it's more like a soup. So it's both a sandwich and a soup, so it gets put over there.
I can see it.
The hot dog is not by the definition of the salads, of the soup salad sandwich space. It's slightly below sandwich, so it's not fully a sandwich.
But it's close.
But it's close to a sandwich.
Okay.
And it's definitely not a salad or a soup.
I can understand the appeal definitely more than the last one.
Okay.
So maybe I'm just beat down because the last one was so bad that this one feels
the cube rule was that bad?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you want... Let's I'm just going to go through some of the critiques I have for the soup salad sandwich space and explain why it's not my favorite method of food classification. The first issue, actually, is that the soup salad sandwich space doesn't actually answer the question, is a hot dog a sandwich?
That is true.
We started out with the research question, is a hot dog a sandwich? And the soup salad sandwich space, their answer is just kind of.
Yeah.
The second thing that I critique about the soup salad sandwich space is that when something is less of a sandwich, it's a salad. I want you to think about the key properties.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah. Think about the key properties of a sandwich versus a salad. A sandwich is structured. You can't toss a sandwich, right?
I mean,
you're not tossing a sandwich. You're not tossing those ingredients.
Funky.
You want those ingredients to stay where they are as much as possible. You know when you eat a sandwich, right? And stuff falls out of the sandwich.
It's falling into my mouth is where it's going.
No, but like you're holding the sandwich like that, and then you munch on the sandwich, and then stuff falls out the bottom.
Yeah,
you don't want that with your. You don't want that. You don't want your sandwich to fall out of your sandwich. That is.
I want to meet someone crazy.
That is bad.
To want that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's funny.
Exactly. So, but then think about a salad. Small diced things that are thrown around. The structure is completely loose. You can toss it, you can throw it however you want, and it'll still be a salad. Versus a sandwich, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So, instead of a soup salad sandwich space, it's more of just a salad sandwich space with soup, or the level of soupiness as another axis would be.
Level of liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we've critiqued and debunked both the cube rule in the last episode and the soup salad sandwich space right now, we're moving towards my favorite, the salad theory of food categorization.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. The base foundation that you need to understand about salad theory is that everything is actually a salad.
Now hold on, Buster Brown, because you just said with the last one that you hated that when something was less of a sandwich, it became more of a salad. Now explain that one.
So salad theory argues...
Why is it okay for salad theory but not soup salad theory?
Well...
You just don't like soup and sandwich?
Well, here's the thing, right? The idea of a sandwich is arbitrary. And we talked about the sandwich.
Whoa.
We talked about the sandwich being more structurally sound, being more structured, being more being less able to move, being less flexible.
Uh-huh.
But that's, when you really think about it, that's just a more solid salad. So we shouldn't be thinking about it in terms of a salad and a sandwich. It's actually just two different types of salads. Salads with high entropy and salads with low entropy.
All right. Let's get on with it.
Okay. So this is my favorite. First off, there are three factors in which salad theory defines food. The first factor is the food's soupiness. So what percentage of the food is liquid?
Yay.
On a scale of 0 to 1.
Okay.
And that was similar to the soup salad sandwich space.
Extremely.
Okay. Next up, we have ingredient entropy.
Okay.
And this the food on the right is a salad, a traditional salad, and I'm going to leave it as that for the entirety of the video.
Okay.
We're looking at how many unique ingredients there are and how many of each ingredient there is.
Okay.
So, for an example, in this salad we see there's avocado, there's leaves, there's carrots, there's I think some onions, tomatoes, right? So that you have a lot of unique ingredients. A high number of unique ingredients and a lot of ingredients. And so that we can calculate the ingredient entropy with the following equation at the bottom of the slide, i.e. equals to log the number of ingredients times the number of unique ingredients.
Okay.
What you would get is with the one on the right, which is what we would normally consider a salad, right? It's actually a high ingredient entropy salad versus the one on the left, which is just a block of lettuce. There's only one ingredient, and there's only one number of that ingredient. There's no other unique ingredients, anything like that. So that's a low ingredient entropy saladoid.
Sure.
You seem a little defeated.
I just think that this is the worst one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is it the worst one, in your opinion? Why is it the worst one? I want you...
Actually, you know what?
To justify why it is the worst one.
You know what? It's my favorite one.
Really?
Sure.
Really? Because I genuinely thought you would hate this one. And the fact that you said it was the worst one and now you're saying it's your favorite, I know you're just saying that to spite me.
Am I?
Probably.
Just probably? How do you know which one's the acting?
Well, I just have a feeling.
You're just going off your gut?
Yeah.
Going off a hunch?
What is
this, 1910 detective?
And I know. I simply know.
Okay. Well.
Can I get on to the next and the last?
Go on, because I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine. And then we have arrangement entropy, which is you love math, huh?
Yeah.
This math is awesome, huh?
It's hot.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you hated math. What happened?
I like when you do it. I'm not doing it. You're doing it.
Well, if you really love the system, you would also have to do the math.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I won't be.
Yeah.
I won't, because I'm not going to be thinking about this for a second after we turn this camera off.
Okay. Well, lastly, we have arrangement entropy, which is how much can you reposition all of the ingredients? So can you say, toss it, essentially? How much can you reposition the ingredients and how much can you rotate the ingredients? Mm-hmm. So I'll give you an example. On a pizza, you can move all the ingredients on the top of the pizza. But if you rotated the ingredients on the pizza and you turn the pepperoni on the side, would that still be a pizza?
Like, so the pizza's like this, you just have
vertical pepperoni.
Yeah, sure, it's still pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
What if you turn the whole pizza vertical and the pepperoni was vertical? Would it still be pizza?
So it'd just be a pizza like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But wouldn't everything just fall apart?
I mean, not if you're... If you're making a crappy pizza, maybe.
Okay. Well,
You know my pizza would not do that.
the point is,
It holds together like glue.
it's going to get to a point where it's unrecognizable, and that is going to happen faster than if you were to do that to the salad we have here on the right. In fact, if you did that to the salad, if you tossed and rotated and repositioned every single ingredient of the salad, it would still be a tossed salad.
I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Versus a pizza, if you tossed a pizza, it wouldn't be a pizza anymore. It'd turn into like a sludge, like if you tossed it.
I don't know. That'd be pretty good.
Like a pizza, a tossed pizza? You want to have a tossed pizza?
Yeah.
Okay. And that can be calculated with AE equals mean axes of ingredient repositioning plus mean of the axes of ingredient rotation. So, let's critique salad theory.
Let's do it.
This is my personal favorite. And
mine too.
and I will say I think its flaws are not as bad as some of the other ones. The only issue is that it does not convey any relevant information about the food.
Yeah.
If I told you that I was going to have a drink or a sip of a completely soupy, no ingredient entropy, and maximum arrangement entropy food, saladoid,
I'd say get out of my house.
would you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No, I'd say leave my presence. I'd say never look in my direction again. Or I'm getting a restraining order.
Because I just said that to you. But you don't know.
But you're not saying it seriously.
And you also... Oh, I will. Don't worry. You also don't know, right? What I'm talking about. Because what I just described was a glass of water.
Yeah, it was essentially nothing.
But that information was not communicated through salad theory.
Yeah.
So.
It could be. It's just a fluid of some kind.
Yeah,
And I'm not taking a fluid of some kind from any man.
So, we get on to our summary of the 3 different ways of classifying foods. Let's talk about cube rule, identified food, based on the location of structural starch. Its answer to our initial research question is that a hot dog is not a sandwich, it's a taco. The problem with the cube rule, there are many critiques, but mainly it's unintuitive. Cutting of the foods changes the group of the food. And it's really challenging to describe and to define what structural starch means. So the whole thing kind of falls apart. Really? You're making fun of my hand gestures?
Yeah.
This is a very common hand gesture to me.
I mean, what you do is so big.
And then we have soup, salad, sandwich space. It classifies food in the 3 dimensions of soup, salad, and sandwich and similarity, how similar they are. The issue is that it does not categorize a hot dog and does not answer our initial research question. And lastly, my favorite, the best theory, salad theory, is that all foods are salads and they're classified based on their soupiness, ingredients, and arrangement entropy. A hot dog, as defined by salad theory, is a non-soupy, low ingredient entropy, low arrangement entropy saladoid. And the main critique of salad theory is that it's so technical that it's completely irrelevant.
I disagree.
What?
All the critiques of salad theory are dumb.
Because
it's perfect.
So, I leave it up to you to make up your mind as to which one is your favorite and to live life with the newfound knowledge of whether or not a hot dog is a sandwich.
Sure.